You walk into the pharmacy and there's an entire wall of probiotic supplements. 50 billion CFU, 100 billion CFU, shelf-stable, refrigerated, multi-strain, single-strain. All of them promising to transform your gut health, boost your immunity, fix your bloating, and maybe even change your life. But here's the truth, nobody's telling you. Most healthy people don't need probiotics at all. And if you do need them, there's a good chance you're taking the wrong one at the wrong time for the wrong reason. I'm Dr. Zaid Fadul, and today we're cutting through the hype, the confusion, and the billion-dollar marketing machine to answer the most important question: when do probiotics actually work? And when are they just expensive placebos? Here's what you're going to learn in the next 10 minutes that most people never figure out. The one type of person who absolutely should take probiotics, and it might be you, the dangerous misunderstandings that cause people to waste hundreds of billion dollars on probiotics that don't work, why higher CFU doesn't mean better results, and how the supplement industry is taking advantage of this. The exact timing that determines whether probiotics actually survive to help you. Real numbers from clinical research that show exactly when probiotics are worth the money. And by the end, I'm going to show you something shocking about what social media is getting wrong about gut health, and it might surprise you. Let's dive in. First, let's clear up the confusion because most people mix these up, and this confusion is costing you money. Probiotics are live bacteria and yeast that are good for your digestive system. Think of them as reinforcements for the trillions of microbes already living in your gut. The big ones you'll see on labels are lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. But, and this is important, not all strains work the same way. Prebiotics are not bacteria. They're the fuel that feeds your good bacteria. They're types of fiber found in foods like onions, garlic, bananas, and whole grains. Here's the thing, if you take probiotics but don't have prebiotics to feed them, you're basically trying to grow a garden without soil. Postbiotics are the beneficial compounds that probiotics produce after they've done their job. Things like short-chain fatty acids that support your gut lining and immune system. This is the part social media gets completely wrong. Here's the key, all three work together. And for this 2026 update, there's still a lot that we're researching about prebiotics and postbiotics, which we'll cover in a future video and link here. Most healthy people already have enough good bacteria. Your gut doesn't need constant reinforcements unless something has disrupted it. So if you're healthy, why are billions of dollars being spent on probiotics? That's what we're about to answer. This is where it gets real. According to the American Gastroenterological Association and recent clinical guidelines, probiotics are not recommended for general health maintenance in healthy adults or children. Let me say that again. If you're healthy, you don't need a daily probiotic. That's the opposite of what you've been hearing, right? But wait, if they don't work for healthy people, why does everyone take them? And more importantly, when do they actually work? The evidence is strongest for these 5 specific situations. Situation number 1, antibiotic-associated diarrhea and Clostridium difficile prevention, otherwise known as C. diff. Here's the problem. When you take antibiotics, they destroy both bad bacteria and good bacteria. It's like a nuclear bomb going off in your gut. This creates a vacuum that harmful bacteria like Clostridium difficile rush to fill in. This is actually really dangerous because C. diff infections kill over 12,000 Americans every single year. But this is where probiotics shine. Taking specific strains like lactobacillus or Saccharomyces boulardii during and after antibiotics does something remarkable. It reduces your risk of antibiotic-associated diarrhea by 40 to 50%. And for C. diff specifically, the numbers are even better. About 42 people taking antibiotics would need to use probiotics to prevent 1 C. diff infection. But here's the kicker. If you're in a high-risk group, hospitalized patients, adults over 65, or people who've had C. diff before, that number drops to just 12 people. Think about that. For every 12 high-risk patients taking the right probiotic, 1 serious infection is prevented and maybe another life saved. That's a real clinical benefit. Situation number 2, preterm infants at risk for necrotizing enterocolitis. Certain combinations of lactobacillus and bifidobacterium strains can significantly reduce the risk of necrotizing enterocolitis, which is a serious intestinal disease that can develop in premature babies. This is one of the clearest cases where probiotics truly saves lives. Situation number 3, IBS, the gray area. Here's where it gets complicated, and I want to be honest with you. Some people with IBS get modest relief from bloating, pain, and irregular bowel movements with specific multi-strain probiotics. But, and this is a big but, the benefit is small and inconsistent. The American Gastroenterological Association hasn't made a strong recommendation either way because the evidence is mixed. Some people respond well, many don't see any change, and some actually feel worse. If you have IBS and you want to try probiotics, Go in with realistic expectations. This isn't a cure. It's a potential tool that might help 2 to 3 weeks into consistent use. If it's working, you'll know. If it's not, there are other approaches that definitely work better. To get a good handle on IBS and treatment options, you can check out my video here. Situation number 4, Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. Here's something many people don't realize. The AGA actually recommends against probiotics for Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. That's not a no recommendation, that's a clear do not do this. The evidence just doesn't support their use for these conditions. They haven't shown meaningful benefit in clinical trials, and the organizational strong position is backed by systematic reviews. Situation number 5, acute infectious diarrhea in children. Certain strains may shorten the duration of diarrhea by about 1 day. It's a modest benefit, not a game changer, but it's real for children. Notice the pattern here? Probiotics work best when your gut has been disrupted by antibiotics, serious illness, or specific medical conditions. They're not a daily multivitamin, they're a targeted intervention. Now that you know when they're actually useful, let's talk about something even more important, making sure you're getting what you're paying for. Here's something that should make you angry. Most people have no idea what CFU actually means. So let me explain, because the supplement industry is counting on your confusion. CFU stands for colony forming units. Basically, it's how many live bacteria in each dose. Simple enough, right? Wrong. Because here's where the deception happens. You'll see labels claiming 10 billion CFU, 50 billion, even 100 billion CFU. But here's the thing that changes everything. Many probiotic labels say CFU at time of manufacture. That means by the time you buy it, take it home, and actually swallow it weeks or months later, the number of live bacteria may be 50% lower or worse. Heat, moisture, and time all kill probiotics. It's like buying fresh juice made 6 months ago. What should you be looking for is CFU expiration. That's the actual number of living bacteria you're getting when you consume it. For most proven uses, effective doses range from 5 billion to 40 billion CFU per day. More isn't always better. Some high-dose products claiming 100 billion CFU are just expensive marketing. You're paying premium prices for bacteria that might not even be alive. Better products are tested by third-party labs to verify what's actually in the bottle. Look for certifications from NSF, USP, or Consumer Lab. Without those, you're trusting the manufacturer's word, and studies show many products don't contain what they claim. So now you know, don't just look at the CFU number, look at the timing and the testing. This is the difference between wasting money and getting real value. Check the description to see the couple probiotics that I've linked that are considered the best by Consumer Lab. But even if you buy the right product, there's another critical mistake people make that completely undermines the whole thing. So let me show you next. You could have the best probiotic in the world, which is linked again in the description, but if you're taking it at the wrong time, you might as well throw your money in the trash. Here's why. Probiotics have to survive stomach acid, get to your intestines, and establish themselves before you stop taking them. Timing affects every single one of those steps. Most research shows taking probiotics 30 minutes before a meal, ideally breakfast, when stomach acid is lower. This helps more bacteria survive the journey to your intestines. But honestly, consistency is more important than the exact time of day. Pick a time you'll remember and stick with it. Same time every day for the duration you need them. For antibiotic-associated diarrhea, this is when timing becomes absolutely critical. Start when you begin antibiotics, ideally within the first 2 days. Why? Because the longer you wait, the more damage has been done to your gut bacteria population. Space your probiotic dose at least 2 hours away from your antibiotic dose. Otherwise, the antibiotic might kill the probiotic before they reach your intestines. What's the point there? And here's the part people miss. Continue for 7 to 14 days after finishing the antibiotics. Your gut needs time to recover. This continuation phase is actually when a lot of the benefit happens. One more thing that could save you frustration, if you're taking Saccharomyces boulardii, a yeast-based probiotic, you don't need to space it 2 hours apart from your antibiotic. That 2-hour rule only applies to bacterial probiotics because antibiotics can kill bacteria. Since S. boulardii is a yeast, antibiotics don't affect it. This makes it an especially smart choice when you need probiotic support during antibiotic treatment. For IBS or digestive symptoms, you might need at least 4 weeks of consistent daily use to notice any benefit. If you're not feeling better after a month, it's probably not going to work for you. For acute diarrhea, typically 5 to 7 days. Now here's a question everyone asks me. Do I need to take them every day forever? No. Here's why. Probiotics don't permanently colonize your gut. They pass through. They're temporary residents, not permanent settlers. If you stop taking them, their benefits stop too. Within 2 to 5 days after you quit, they're essentially gone from your system. That's why they're not meant to replace a healthy diet and lifestyle. They're a temporary support when your gut needs help. Think of them like antibiotics. You wouldn't take antibiotics forever just to prevent infection, right? You take them for a specific problem for a specific period of time. So you know when to take them. But the next question is, how long until you actually feel different? This is the question everyone wants answered, and the answer is, it depends a lot. The timeline varies dramatically based on what you're using probiotics for. Acute diarrhea, you might see improvement in 1 to 5 days. This is where probiotics actually work remarkably fast. Digestive discomfort or bloating, expect 2 to 3 weeks of consistent use before you notice any change. That's the minimum. Some people need longer. Hormonal, immune, or metabolic changes, these can take 3 months or longer, and the evidence is much weaker. I want to be honest, if you're taking probiotics hoping to lose weight or clear up your skin, you're probably going to be disappointed. Many people quit too soon because they expect instant results. They take probiotics for 3 days, don't feel different, and assume they're not working. But here's the truth. If you're not in one of the categories I mentioned earlier where probiotics are proven to help, you might not see any benefit at all. No matter how long you take them, you could be taking the best probiotic for 30 days and still have 0 improvement. That's just the reality of the science. So here's what I recommend. Give it 4 weeks if you're taking it for digestive symptoms. If nothing has changed by week 4, you probably found your answer. Stop wasting money and try a different approach. Probiotics are only one piece of the puzzle, but your gut microbiome is the whole game. Watch my gut microbiome video to see how it all fits together. But what if you're taking antibiotics? That's when timing becomes even more critical, and most people are doing it wrong. This is one of the most important sections because when you get this right, you're actually preventing serious medical complications. Should you take probiotics with antibiotics? Yes, but only if you're at moderate to high risk for antibiotic-associated diarrhea or C. diff infection. This includes people who've had C. diff before, those on prolonged or broad-spectrum antibiotics, hospitalized patients, anyone over 65, and people with weakened immune systems. But if you're young, healthy, and taking a short course of antibiotics for a simple infection like a UTI, probiotics probably aren't necessary. Here's the exact protocol I use with my patients. Step 1, start within 2 days. Start probiotics when you begin your antibiotics, ideally within the first 2 days. Studies show that waiting longer reduces the protective benefit. Your gut bacteria are being destroyed as we speak, so don't wait. Step 2, maintain the 2-hour spacing. Space your probiotic dose at least 2 hours away from your antibiotic dose. This is critical because you want the probiotic to reach your intestines before being exposed to the antibiotic. Step 3, continue after. Don't stop the probiotic when you finish the antibiotics. Continue for another 7 to 14 days to help your gut recover and repopulate with good bacteria. Now that you understand when and how to take probiotics, let's talk about the most important question for most people. Is it actually worth the money? Most probiotics cost between $27 and $50 per month. That's $300 to $600 per year. So the question is, are they worth it? The answer changes completely depending on why you're taking them. For antibiotic use, IBS with modest benefits, preterm infants, or specific infections, yes, probiotics are probably worth the money. Think about it this way. A C. diff infection can require hospitalization costing $5,000 to $20,000. Antibiotics to treat it cost hundreds more. Missing work, suffering all the complications. For $30 to $50 a month, preventing that possibility, that's valuable. For general gut health and healthy people, absolutely not. You're throwing money away. You're better off spending that money on fiber-rich foods, fermented foods like yogurt and sauerkraut, and a balanced diet. Those provide prebiotics and natural probiotics without the marketing hype, and you get the added nutritional benefit. And remember, probiotics aren't regulated like drugs by the FDA. Manufacturers don't have to prove safety or effectiveness before selling them. That's why third-party testing and choosing evidence-based strains is so important. You need to be the quality control department. Which brings me to the last section, and this might be the most important one, because social media is spreading misinformation that's costing real people real money and real health. If you've been on TikTok, you've seen hashtag GutTok. Over 6 billion views. Influencers talking about healing your gut, transforming your health, optimizing your microbiome. Here's what the research shows. Nearly half of health-related content on TikTok contains inaccurate or misleading information. Yes, bullshit. Let that sink in. If you see 2 gut health videos on TikTok, statistically, one of them is probably wrong. Myth number 1, this probiotic will heal your gut. Your gut doesn't need healing unless you have a diagnosed condition, and no single supplement fixes everything. A probiotic is not a miracle cure. It's not even close. Myth number 2, higher CFU is always better. Not true. More bacteria doesn't mean more benefit. The evidence-based range is 5 to 40 billion CFU for most applications. Everything above that, just marketing. Myth number 3, all probiotics are the same. False. Probiotics are strain-specific and disease-specific. Lactobacillus rhamnosus works for antibiotic-associated diarrhea. It doesn't work for most other things. Saccharomyces boulardii works for certain conditions. What works for one condition won't work for another. This is what social media completely ignores because specificity doesn't sell supplements. Myth number 4, take probiotics every day for life. Unnecessary for most people and not supported by guidelines. You take them for specific purposes during specific times, not forever. Be skeptical of anyone selling you a gut health product without credentials or scientific backing. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If someone doesn't cite a specific strain and specific peer-reviewed research backing their claim, just move on. Let me pull this all together because I know you've heard conflicting information. Probiotics are not a magic bullet. They're not necessary for general health maintenance if you're already healthy. The strongest evidence supports their use for preventing antibiotic-associated diarrhea and C. diff infections in at-risk populations, reducing symptoms in some people with IBS, and protecting preterm infants from serious intestinal disease. Outside of those specific situations, most people are better off focusing on a fiber-rich diet, fermented foods, stress management, and good sleep. If you decide to take a probiotic, choose wisely. Look for products with third-party testing. Pick the right strain. Choose strains that have been studied for your specific condition, not what your friend used. Check the labels. Guarantee CFU counts are listed at expiration, not just at manufacture. Take them correctly, consistently at the right time for the right duration. Set realistic expectations. This isn't a cure, it's just a tool. But here's what really matters. Your gut health is complex and it's deeply personal. Cookie cutter advice from social media won't cut it. What works for someone else might not work for you. And if you're dealing with persistent bloating, digestive issues, unexplained fatigue, or you just want to optimize your health from the inside out, you need more than a generic probiotic. You need personalized guidance. That's exactly what we do at Bespoke Concierge MD. We're here to help nationwide, offering personalized gut health programs that go beyond guesswork. We used advanced microbiome testing like the Jonah test to see exactly what's happening in your gut. We track your symptoms, your diet, your lifestyle, and your unique biology. And we create a plan that's tailored specifically to you, not a one-size-fits-all protocol you found online. We treat you as an individual, not a number, because your gut microbiome is as unique as your fingerprint. Whether you're looking to optimize your gut health, prevent chronic disease, or finally get answers to symptoms you've been dealing with for years, we're here to help guide you every step of the way. From comprehensive testing to personalized nutrition plans to ongoing monitoring and adjustments, we make gut health simple, science-backed, and sustainable. Your gut health is too important to leave to guesswork or random internet advice. If you're ready to take control of your health from the inside out, join us at Bespoke Concierge MD. Let's work together to build the healthiest version of you, starting with your gut. Thanks for watching. If this information helped you or someone you know, please share this video. Your story in the comments could help others realize they're not alone in their gut health journey. Remember, your gut isn't broken, it just needs the right balance, and that balance is possible when you have the right tools, support, and personalized guidance. Take the first step today. Let's build your best health together. Subscribe for more evidence-based health content, and check out the link in the description to learn more about personalized gut health at Bespoke Concierge MD.